Ever find yourself scrolling through an endless feed, trying to figure out who you are and where you fit in? We build our identities on so many things: our job titles, our relationship status, our follower count, even our political views. But what if the most powerful identity we could ever claim is simply being loved? There's this incredibly quiet yet profound verse in the Bible, John 13:23. It says, "Now there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved." The disciple writing this is John, but he doesn't use his own name. He doesn't say, "I, John the Apostle," or "I, the guy who wrote this book." He just calls himself the one Jesus loved. Think about that for a second. His entire sense of self in this critical moment is wrapped up in the fact that he is loved by Jesus. This wasn't because Jesus played favorites or loved him more than the other disciples. It was because John chose to receive that love and make it his primary identity. He lived from that place of love. And where do we find him? At the Last Supper, a moment thick with tension and sorrow. Jesus has just announced that one of them will betray him. The air is heavy, and John is physically leaning on Jesus, so close he can probably feel his heartbeat, hear him breathe. This isn't about having a special position or a title. It's about intimacy. It's about closeness. There's no grand speech from John, no spotlight on him. Just a quiet, powerful act of leaning in. Now let's bring this into our world today. Our lives are anything but quiet, right? We're constantly leaning into something. We lean into the stress of a deadline, the anxiety of the news cycle, the pressure to achieve more, be more, post more. Our phones are buzzing, opinions are flying, and the world is yelling for our attention. We're all leaning, but the question is, what are we leaning on? John's example offers us a radical alternative. Lean into Jesus. Rest there. Find your stability not in your own strength or your accomplishments, but in the unwavering reality of his love for you. True, unshakable confidence doesn't come from proving your worth to the world. It comes from the deep, settled knowledge that you are already worthy because you are loved. Deeply, personally, and without condition. What's really striking is the context. This moment of intimacy doesn't happen on a peaceful, sunny afternoon. It happens in the middle of chaos, betrayal, and impending suffering. Jesus has just dropped a bombshell that will shatter their world. And what does John do? He doesn't run. He doesn't panic. He leans in closer. This teaches us something vital. Faith isn't the absence of trouble. Faith is choosing where you turn in the trouble. It's choosing closeness when everything else is falling apart. So, what does this mean for you right now, wherever you are? It means you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have all the answers to your problems or a perfect 5-year plan. You just need to know where to lean. You just need to stay close to the source of love. The pressure to perform can be suffocating, but the invitation from Jesus is always one of rest. The world tells you to hustle harder, to speak louder, to build your own platform, but the gospel whispers something different. It says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." It says you are the one Jesus loves. So today, in the middle of your to-do lists, your worries, and your ambitions, I want to encourage you to do what John did. Be productive, be responsible, be kind, yes, but above all, be loved. See yourself through that lens. Let that be the identity you lead with. Pull up a chair to the table. The invitation is still open. Lean in. Jesus hasn't moved. He's waiting for you. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content like this. We'd love to have you as part of our community. See you in the next video.